Welcome back to the deep dive. We take your sources, find those key insights, and really try to make them work for you.
Make them actionable.
Exactly. And today, we're looking at something called prudent investing. Mind your own business.
Which, sounds simple, but maybe isn't.
Well, it's definitely counterintuitive in today's world.
Right. Okay, let's unpack this then. We live in this world just overflowing with financial advice, right? Market noise, everyone chasing the next big thing. So what does it actually mean to mind your own business with your investments?
It's a great question. And what's really fascinating here is how the source immediately turns the focus inward. Right away.
Inward, how so?
It argues that, smart investing, prudent investing, isn't really about watching every market blip or chasing that hot tip your neighbor gave you.
Okay.
Instead, it's about anchoring everything back to what is uniquely yours. We're talking about your personal goals. What do you actually want to achieve? Your specific financial capacity. What can you realistically afford to invest?
And crucially, your genuine risk tolerance. Not what you think it should be, but what you can actually stomach emotionally. Think of it like building your financial strategy from the inside out. It makes prudence less about predicting the market and more about understanding yourself and staying disciplined.
So it's behavioral fortitude, as the source puts it. Have you really defined those things for yourself? That's the key question it seems to pose to the listener.
Precisely.
That internal focus idea, it sounds really powerful. So it's not just saying, oh, I want to get rich.
Well,
it's more like,
specific.
I need X amount for a house deposit in, say, 5 years, or my retirement target is Y in 25 years. That kind of detail.
Yes, exactly. That kind of detail. That specificity is fundamental.
But then, and this is where it gets really interesting for me, the source warns us, point blank, to avoid getting distracted, by market noise, trends, what everyone else is doing.
The external chatter.
Yeah, but how do you actually do that? How do you navigate that constant flood of information, all the headlines, the panic, the hype,
Yeah.
and resist just following the herd?
Yeah.
Especially when it feels like the herd is the market sometimes.
It absolutely can feel that way. And look, that's the core challenge, isn't it? That's what the source is really getting at.
Right.
It suggests the discipline to ignore all that. It doesn't just come from sheer willpower. It comes from having a strategy that's so well defined, so based on your internal reality.
That the external noise just doesn't have the same pull.
Exactly. It loses its power over you. The source points out, and it's true, that so many big investment mistakes happen because we look outwards. We get hit by FOMO, fear of missing out, or that instinct to just, run with the crowd.
Herd mentality.
Herd mentality, absolutely. But if your strategy truly reflects your unique situation, your goals, your income, your expenses, and again, how much volatility you can actually handle,
Okay.
then you've got a built-in defense against chasing whatever's popular this week. So maybe a meme stop is going crazy, right? But if your personal risk profile and your research point towards, say, diversified index funds for your long-term goals, then that meme stock excitement, it just doesn't fit. It doesn't align. So you stick to your plan.
Because it's not your business in that sense.
Precisely. That's why the source stresses staying disciplined, doing the research relevant to your goals, and making decisions based on your own informed judgment, not on the noise.
Okay, so let's bring this home for you, our listener. What does this really mean for you? Minding your own business in investing. It isn't about sticking your head in the sand.
Not at all. It's about informed awareness.
Right. It's about taking control, putting your unique situation, your goals, your research front and center, making decisions based on that rather than just reacting to external pressures or hype.
It's empowered decision-making.
Right.
Self-aware, focused on your long-term well-being.
Exactly. Which leads to a final thought. Consider how this mind your own business idea, this focus on your unique situation, your informed judgment might apply elsewhere. Beyond just investing.
Interesting extension.
Where else in your life could tuning out some of that external noise, the comparisons, the trends, and really focusing on your true priorities, where might that bring maybe some unexpected clarity or even greater success? Something to think about.